Good people, hello. I just wanted to come before you and talk a little bit about this book that I'm reading. Crazy Faith. It has been a blessing to my life. And I just really wanted to share some of the nuggets that I've been reading and I've been getting. I'm in chapter 1, so this is a great way to start off this discussion. It's called "It's Only Crazy Until It Happens." Let me just tell you, this book is changing lives. If you've read the sermon, if you've listened to the sermon, it really follows the sermon in a lot of ways. But, for different learners, this is a great way for you to follow it. So he says today's normal was yesterday's crazy. And he talks about how if you walked up to someone and told them that I have possession of an electronic device that fits in the palm of your hands. It has no cord, no long extension antenna attached, and it can be used to communicate with another person on the other side of the world. Call it, wait for effect, a cell phone. He said you would probably think I need to be locked in a cell somewhere because clearly I was crazy. Then he goes on to talk about like the racial disparities between black people and white people in 1955, and how if someone went up to some white people and told them that one day people would get married, people that look like you would marry people that you don't like, they would think that was crazy. And then he just talks about this prototype of air transportation, talking to people that ride the plane, that rides the train, that one day there'll be an airplane. All those things were crazy, but it started off with someone's faith and believing that they can create a device or create a big machine that can take you from one place to the other in the air. Who would have thought of that, right? So he said, you're reading this book because there is something in you that believes the impossible, that knows better is inevitable, that trusts destiny is unavoidable, and that is intrigued by the possibility of a miracle. I don't know about you, but right now in my life, I am just believing in God for some miraculous things to happen in this fourth quarter of the year. And I know that only my faith can lead me to what I desire in my heart. So that's the reason why I'm reading this book. And that's the reason why I decided to do a video on it, because I would like to stamp this time. I know I'm not the only one that's looking for a time to stamp. So I wanted you to join with me in stamping this time and believing in God that something miraculous can happen in our lives. I like how he talks about the foundation of faith. He talked about who he was as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a son. He talked about where the church, how his church was created, how someone believed and someone was called to go back to Tulsa, to the area where the racial riots took place in Oklahoma, and to create a church. This white man who tried to break generational curses through following and being obedient to the call of God to create a church in an area where people didn't look like him, to serve people that didn't look like him. And he says that Hebrews 11:1 starts off with these two words, now faith. And he said that's where faith starts. It's like now. Now is an action word. And then faith is also action too, right? He says you can begin tearing down the walls of doubt, pulling out the lies of permissive, and removing the framework of fear so that God can pour a new faith foundation deep within you. I love that. Pessimism. That's the word. So please excuse me. And so he said, I could not help but wonder what areas of my life have I built what areas of my life have I built on a faulty foundation? Where do I need some major construction? And so I like how, so he's got in the book, he's got these different levels of faith that I'm getting ready to discuss with you. So he discusses sky. Okay, let me start from the bottom. He talks about vacant lot faith. Okay, that's when you have no vision, no direction. There's availability there and has full potential, but there's nothing there, right? The other is porta potty faith. Use only as a last resort. Use only as a last result. Usually full of crap, requires a lot of maintenance, has just enough room for one person, okay, one person. So nobody else can be a part of this faith, but just you. And the Bible says when two or more are together, then he's there. So everything is there. All the blessings are there when you're activating your faith for someone else, okay? Trailer home faith. Not set in stone, easily moved, not anchored down, susceptible to damage from outside circumstances, doesn't have much room for others. Now I understand we got to get to levels, but we got to get beyond the trailer park faith. I mean, with the trailer home faith, what can you do with trailer home faith? Fixer upper, which is pretty solid structure, but compromises integrity due to doubt, disappointment, and damage over the years. Needs some work. I'm gonna be honest with you. Overall, this is where my faith lies, and I put down October the 12th, 2023, because that's when I read the book. And I know we're at October 26th, 2023, and I'm still, building my faith. Overall. Now, there are levels of my life that I have bigger faith, but overall, this is where I'm at. And this is the reason why I'm reading this book. So as I'm reading to you these different levels of faith, I would like for you to just describe and just identify which one makes sense to you and where you are right now. Just really don't look at different areas of your life. Look at overall where you are. Okay. So that you can make sure that your level of faith can match no matter where you are in life. The next level is mansion faith, which is large, strong framework, intentionally designed to last a long time. And so it's got pleasing attractions. It's set up to leave a legacy for the future, for the future generations. And the last one, the skyscrapers faith, which has huge vision, giant goals, dare dreaming, a lifestyle of faith. It is on public display. So not only do you have this faith, everybody knows you have this faith. And so no matter what happens in your life, no one can waver your faith. That's the type of faith that you need to have. And so he talks about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he has 8 levels of goal areas in your life that you should have. I do some work around goal setting, and I talk about the 9 areas of life that people should have faith in. But I'm just going to tell you about his levels of life that you should have. But if you follow my videos, then you'll hear me talk about the different levels of faith, and I'm a different level of goal setting, and I'm going to also do a video on that. So please look out for that. It will be coming soon. So the first area of life he talks about is friendship. So where does your level of faith meet in friendship? You talk about goals, romantic relationships. Where's your level of faith? For those of you all that have that are in a marriage that may be struggling, where's your level of faith? For those of you all that are single, where's your level of faith to get that a special someone? Health. When he talks about health, he says mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, physical health. So where is your level of faith as it relates to all of those different areas? Finances. Where's your level of faith, honey? Are you believing for money to be coming from the north, the south, the east, and the west? Are you calling forth them coins? Where is your level of faith when it comes to your money? For those of you that are children, for those of you desire to have children, if you want a child, where's your level of faith to get that? I don't care what the doctors say. There is, God is still on the throne, and he can do miraculous things. I know two people that they said that they may not have children, and God moved in an amazing way. The church that I go to, one of the things, the rumor is that my pastor has the secret sauce to help you get pregnant. And he can lay hands, the people there, he can give you a word, and you will get pregnant. So message me below if you're trying to get pregnant. I can tell you, you can get on, send you some videos from my pastor, and he don't even have to be talking about you getting pregnant, and you probably can get pregnant, you and your, because he will have you looking at your life in so many different ways and have you to be reaching out for faith. And so, like Pastor Todd, he can help you get to where you go, your goals in life. And that's why I'm here able to even create this video to talk with you all. So the next area is personal development. When you look at your life and where you're trying to go and the things that you're trying to do, where is your level of faith? The last one is hopes, dreams, vision for the future. When you look at the projection of your life, the things you desire to do beyond just right now, where is your level of faith? He talks about he just talks about one of the examples, some of the examples of him and how he wanted to, how he was trusting God. And he said, he said, my friends are truly a faith person. He talked about his co-workers. And he said, my friends was truly a faith person. Will your kids and grandkids know you as someone who wasn't afraid to step out and act on faith? Now, so he was saying, I'm sorry, I misread that. But he said, my friends were truly a faith person. Are you a faith person? Will your kids and grandkids know that you were someone who stepped out on faith? And he said, the sad truth about crazy faith is that most believers don't live their lives out on a limb. They live safe, quiet lives and never get to their full promise and potentials. And, I don't know if you all know about, there's a saying that, if you want to know a group of people that have full potential is go to the graveyard, something like that, where they say that that's where a lot of potential died, because a lot of the people that died did not meet the mark. They did not follow the call of their life. They didn't do the things that they needed to do to reach out their full potential. And that's what I'm desiring. And God has me on this path where not only is he pulling me up, he's helping me grab other people. So if you can follow me, I do a lot of leadership work, and I do it through reading books and examining books. And so this is one of the books that we'll be examining. If you looked at some of my other videos, I'm also reading The 7 Habits of Effective People. I have also read some other books, and I'm going to do a recap of those books as well, because they truly blessed my life. And I want to share the nuggets that I got from those books as well. And they're old books. So, and I'm going to be reading some new books as well. But I realized that there were a lot of books that I missed out on. No one told me to read. And I just was called to go back and read these books. And they are really helping me to have a better insight on my life, insight on the work that I do with other people, because I am a social worker. I do some other work with families and children and veterans. And I'm also called to do even more work. And I really want to have a deeper understanding of what the role is of a leader. I start with the word of God, but that's not where you end, because the Bible says with all you're getting, get understanding. I read the book of Proverbs because I want to continue to get understanding. So hopefully, you and I can get understanding together through crazy faith. All right. Another thing that I really liked about this book was that the true stories about crazy faith. So he talked about the devastation, and that's when he really kind of broke down the relationship that he has with the co-owners or the co-founders of the church that Pastor Mike has. And he said, I wouldn't be writing this book and pursuing this purpose of God without the crazy faith of my parents, Brenda and Tommy Todd. And he talks about how, how his mom had to use faith to cook, when there was limited money, and how she made sure those 4 boys ate, him and his brothers ate. He says, through the years, I have witnessed my parents sacrifice and give and trust God and give more. Hear that again. I witnessed my parents sacrifice and give and trust God and give more. Okay? Are you showing that example to your children? Then I watched God not only meet our needs, but also bless us with more than enough to share with others. So that's how they were able to do it. And they realized that it wasn't when God blessed them, it was their job to continue to give. When God gives you, you should be given in areas of your life. I heard Pastor Mike say, I was listening to a podcast, and how he doesn't keep a lot of his clothes, how he always gives away clothes. And if you see him, he's fly, right? And he's constantly giving those things away. He doesn't keep things that God blesses with him, because he knows that there's room to come. I look at my room, I look at my house, I look at, things that I need God to bless me. So this year, I'm going to be giving away a lot of stuff. This last quarter, I am purging, because I want God to move in my life and bring things to me. So I'm going to be giving some things away. Please don't look at my videos and say, okay, well, I see something you like, please give it to me, because I'm going to be led by the Lord, but I'm definitely going to be giving some things away. If you know me personally, don't be asking, just wait for me to receive. Just wait for me to give. Just being silly. Okay, so I also want to end, and I want to end with what he said. So he referred to Romans 8:18 through 23. God is ready to load and fire some spiritual weapons of mass destruct. I'm sorry. Let me start again. Romans 8:18 and 23. God is ready to load and fire some spiritual weapons of mass destruction aimed at the devil's territory. But he needs some all in believers. I'm so sorry. Please, y'all, forgive me. My tongue is tied up. So he needs some all in believers who will trust him and step out on crazy faith. Are you ready? I'm going to read it again for the people, for me that struggle with it, and for every one of you all, because I don't want you to miss this message. God is ready to load and fire some spiritual weapons of mass destruction aimed at the devil's territory. He needs some all-in believers who will trust him and step out on crazy faith. Yes. Are you ready? I read it all the way through. I know that God is going to bless your life. This is just the first chapter, and stay tuned. I'm going to be reading Baby Faith next. That's chapter 2, and hopefully you can read and discuss with me. Anybody who would like to join in with me and read this with me and give me your thoughts about chapter 1. I would love to hear it, love to read it rather. And please stay tuned. Please bear with me as I read. Sometimes my eyes and my mouth, they don't go in, and they don't work together. But hopefully you got some great nuggets out of this, and I'm going to press my way and use my gifts and talents to be a blessing to all of you. Hopefully this can be a blessing to you. Thank you for letting me share. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.